English class. In our previous class, we discussed textbook part exercises from lessons called Oliver Finds a Home. Today we are going to discuss a new poem, that is sixth poem, written in March. And this poem was written by the great English poet called William Wordsworth. He belonged to England, that is UK, and he was born on 7th April 1770 and was died on 22nd April 1850. Okay, now let us know his works, some of his works. His works, famous works are, apart from this written in March, he wrote Daffodils poems, and he wrote many actually novels and stories. Regarding poems I'm talking now. And he wrote the Prelude, that is a well-known poem, and he got very, it's a remarkable and renowned, okay. And the next one is V.R. Saville, okay. And some of his poems are lines written about Tintern Abbey. Okay, now let's start this poem. This poem is very simple language, and if you want to know about William Wordsworth more, about him and his biography and his achievements and his career, you could go through his biography in Google, okay? Through Google you could search and you are going to find about him more detail. And now here I am going to read the poem first. This is very simple language. Let me introduce a brief about this one, this poem. This poem is about a village scenario, like how people start their work in the morning, okay, and the surroundings, the trees and the birds and the nature and the work that the occupation that the people depend on, okay. It is not like describing more about their occupation, what they do, how the village atmosphere would be. And this poem, I think he was written in March month, so he had named it as written in March, okay, written, not written, sorry, written in March, okay. Now let me read this poem. Let's first stanza. It's a two-stanza poem, and let me introduce once again the title, Written in March. Okay, and written by William Wordsworth. Okay. Now actually I'm going to read this poem. It's a very simple language. You may find here and there some new words. He used old English words in his poem. Used, okay, so you may find them as difficult word or new word. Actually the meanings are very simple, that we use every day regularly. Without them we can't speak a sentence, okay. Now let's go with this. The cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, the small birds twitter, the lake doth glitter, the green field sleeps in the sun. The oldest and youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeding like one. Like an army defeated, the snow hath retreated, and now doth fair on the top of the bare hill. The ploughboy is whooping anon, anon. There is joy in the mountains, there is life in the fountains. Small clouds are sailing, blue sky prevailing, the rain is over and gone. Actually, you can tune this poem your way, because it's very simple language. The first stanza says that the very how a village how a morning begins for them, and that for them a morning starts not like they don't look at the clock. In olden days in villages. The people used to get up only after they listen or after they hear the cock sound, crowing sound. The cock's crowing sound. After hearing, they used to get up. That was a clock for them, and that they think that okay, the sun raised now. The sun has risen. It's time to get up. Okay, for them, in olden days, in olden days there were no clocks in villages, but nowadays you find everything, every equipments, every modern items in villages too. So this poem was written, now see, he was born 7th April 1770. That means he would have written at least 1820, who knows, 1801, in that way. Okay, 1793, maybe he would have written in that age. So that means very olden days. In those olden days, people used to get up after they hear the crowing sound of a cock. Okay, now let's see. The first one is the cock is crowing. That's why the poet has started his scenario, the poem and the village scenario with that cock is crowing. Then the people get up. Okay, the cock is crowing, the stream is flowing. Could you see the stream there in the picture? I think so. The small birds twitter and the lake doth glitter. The lake does glitter. Doth is an old English. Doth is an old English, and the word, meaning of the word is, I'm erasing this one, or else let me erase this one. Yeah. Doth means does. Now the modern English we are using does. Okay, doth is an old English. Okay, fine. Doth means does. The lake is glittering, means shining. Glitter, you know, meaning shining. Okay, the cock is crowing, the stream is flowing. The small birds twitter, the lake doth glitter, the green field sleeps in the sun. Okay, what do you think the green fields sleep in the sun? Do they sleep, green fields? What, in the sun what? Are they going into the sun and sleeping there? No, that means that the sun rays is falling on that green field. Okay, it's falling. The rays are falling on that green field. That's the meaning of this line. The green field sleeps in the sun. That means the sun rays is falling on them, on the fields. Okay? The oldest and youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. Now see, now you tell me what kind of people are working in the field now, or at work in the field. What kind of people in the village? William Wordsworth is talking about. This is okay. William Wordsworth is talking about what kind of people are busy in that field. The strongest, the oldest and youngest, the strongest even, oldest, youngest, strongest. All kind of people are busy in the field, in plowing work. Okay, plowing the field. Then, what are the cattle? A group of cows and buffaloes. What are the cattle doing? They are grazing. They are grazing the grass, and their heads never raising. Their heads are not at all raising. So busy they were. Okay. Let me know you that the last line. There are 40 feeding like one. Okay, there are 40 feeding like one means, let me tell you, all the cattle, 40 means that many cattle at a time they are grazing with their heads down. So if you see a classroom heads down, we feel that all together heads one. Because if you all down your head, we feel all it has one. So in that way, the cattle were so busy grazing the grass in the field. That's the meaning of this line. Two lines you have to be careful. One, careful means you have to understand the depth of that line, meaning of that line. The green field sleeps in the sun. There are 40 feeding like one. The green field sleeps in the sun means the sun rays are falling on the green field, and here there are 40 feeding like one means the cattle were so busy, so busy in grazing the grass and their heads were down. We feel that all those cows' heads looking like one head. That's the meaning of this one. Okay? Now could you see this? Dot, only the word which we have come across. The tough word is dot. It's not actually tough word. It's an old English. Dot means does. D-O-T-H. Dot means does. Could you see the word? I hope you could see the word. Yeah. Yeah, you could see the word now. Yeah. Yes. Now let's go with the second one. Second stanza. Like an army defeated, the snow had retreated. Now, first line, before you understand, if something starts with like an, then you should understand something is comparing with some other thing. The two things are comparing here. See, like an army defeated, the snow had retreated. Means how the snow is falling down. The snow is falling down. Retreated means falling down. You could understand like moving backwards or moving down like that. Okay, falling. Retreated. Retreated means falling, or you can say moving backwards, even moving backwards. Okay, moving backwards. The snow is how it's falling like an army defeated. After defeating, how the army defend them while defeating, like if somebody stabs at somebody, guns on him, then he falls like that. So on in the battlefield, on the floor. The same way the snow is falling, moving backwards sometimes and falling like that. Okay? Had means here, the snow have retreated. Snow have, a hat means have. Have. Okay? Dot, does. Hat is an old English again. Like dot, as I said, dot is an old English. In the same way, hat is also an old English. Okay? Now, retreated means moving backward. Something like snow is falling. Like an army defeated, the snow had retreated. Got it? The snow had means have falling, moving backward. Had you can take if it is past tense. Now he is describing that in the present tense the snow is falling down like that. Okay? And now dot. Again dot means does. And now does Ferrell on the top of the bare head. Now and now does the fair another meaning, two meanings will get. One is, oh, she's so fair, means white. Okay, I am not white, you all are white. Okay, the snow, the hill is looking very fair after the snow. Snow is falling on that, moving on that hill, and that bare empty. Bare means empty. That bare empty is looking like very fair hill, means white color. Could you see the picture there? Yeah, that hill. It's looking like top of the hill. It's looking, because the snow falls on the top of the hills and mountains, right? The snow moves and falls on the top of the hill. So, like an army defeated, the snow had retreated. And now doth Ferrell, now does Ferrell, now the Ferrell, that hill has turned into fair white color. Okay? And on the top of the bare hill, on the top of the bare, it was bare, no trees, no plants have grown on that hill. Actually it was empty, now it turned into fair hill, white color hill. The ploughboy is hooping and on and on. Means what is that? Hooping? Something you are thinking of, like not that thing. No, not hooping doesn't mean that. Hooping means the plowing boy. The boy who is plowing the field is shouting and on, again and again, and on, again and again. And hoping anon means shouting again and again. Actually, I don't want to write the meaning of the word. See the yellow color box. Could you see yellow color box here? Here, yellow color box. There you get the some of the meanings, some of the words meanings. Doth, Old English word for does. An army defeated, an army that has lost a battle. Then whooping anon means shouting again and again. Okay, then blue sky prevailing here. Okay, no, let's go first. We only up to anon we discussed, right? So the plowing boy was shouting again and again. There is joy in the mountains, there is life in the fountains. Fountains, how do you find in the mountains? Joy in the mountains means you find that very green are mountains, you find like very lively. If you find fountains also like water falling and water like fountains, they raise fountains, water with the force, then you feel that life in that fountain and in that mountain as if like very joyful, right? There is joy in the mountain, there is life in the fountain. Okay? Small clouds are sailing, blue skies prevailing. It's not raining. You understand now? Clouds are sailing, but doesn't mean that it's cloudy. It doesn't. That poet doesn't mean that that weather was cloudy at that time. He means that the small clouds are sailing, blue skies prevailing. It's not blank. It's not cloudy. If it is blue means everything clear. Raining all over. I mean, rain already over. It has rained already. Okay. Now see, small clouds are sailing, blue sky prevailing. The rain is over and gone. I said the blue sky is prevailing means it's clear all. No rain, nothing doing. So the rain is over and gone. This is the poem. I hope you understood. You don't feel any difficult lines or words in this except the 3 lines. 1. The great field sleeps in the sun. The sun rays are falling on the green field. Then there are 40 feeding like one. The cattle are busy grazing the grass. And then the plow boy is whooping and on. The plow boy is shouting again and again. That's it. Remaining all are prevailing means appearing. The blue sky is appearing. You could see the blue sky everywhere. Not at all cloudy. Rainy season over. So the people started walking in the field. I hope you understood this poem. It's about nature, especially that village atmosphere. William Wordsworth discussed. If you go through daffodils, really it's beautiful, but you shouldn't take direct meaning of that daffodils. Once you read open, you find like daffodils, and he compared something. He used like similes. Okay, you know similes. You have learned. Okay. Yeah, fine. Now it's once again I'm going to read this. You could sing even like. It's very simple. You could frame your own tune. You could form your own tune, but I have formed my own. Shall I? Yeah. Written in March, written by William Wordsworth. The cock is crowing. The cock is crowing. The stream is flowing. The small birds twitter. The lake dog glitter. The green field sleeps in the sun. The oldest and youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeling like one. Like an army defeated, the snow hath retreated, and now doth ferret on the top of the bare hill. The plough boy is whooping anon and on. There is joy in the mountains, there is life in the fountains. Small clouds are sailing, blue sky prevailing. The rain is over and gone. Did you like? Okay, you could frame your own. I mean, just now I'm framed. Let's sing once again. Whether I get this tune or not, I don't know. I will get different tune second time. Let's see now. The cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, the small birds return, the late dawn glitter, the green field sleeps in the sun. The oldest and youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle all grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeding like one. Like an army defeated, the snow hath retreated, and now doth ferret on the top of the bare hill. The ploughboy is hoping anon and on. There is joy in the mountains, there is life in the fountains. Small clouds are sailing, blue sky prevailing. The rain is over and gone. Written by William Wordsworth. Okay, that's all about this poem. Before I end up, let's know some vocabulary that we have improved in today's class. I mean, from this poem, dog means does, that's an old English word. Hath is also an old English word. Hath means have. Okay, then the next one, retreated, moving backwards. Some falling down or moving back, retreated, moving backwards. That snow is falling down again, like up and down, moving backwards this way and that, falling. Okay, and anon, whooping means shouting, anon means again, prevailing, appearing. The sky is blue, it's looking blue. That's the meaning of this poem. I hope you have enjoyed this William Wordsworth poem called Written in March. Some of his famous works are, I said, We Are Seven, The Prelude, Daffodils, and a few lines are written on Tintern Abbey. Okay, I think so. I have erased it. I think so. That's a few lines written on Abbey. I have read it and long back. But Daffodils, I have read it many times. You like it if you go through it. Once you type Daffodils poem William Wordsworth, you get it. Read once. You enjoy. Really, you enjoy this one. Now, before I start the textbook exercises. Yeah. Now let's do at least one textbook exercise. One or two textbook exercises. Page number 78. And I hope that you are going to sing this and take the record. And a girl from 5th standard, I mean your class, I think B1. Her name starts with B. At that day, one day I played Simile song, that video. The very next day she had learned that. Very next day she sung that one with video. She had sent to me that video. Now let me hope that you all are going to learn this Written in March poem without seeing, and sing that with your video and send it to me. It takes hardly 2 or 3 minutes, no problem. You could send it through WhatsApp. Not more than 5 minutes, okay? Now let's go with A. Exercise A, page number 78. Okay? Yeah. Now let's do this one now, this exercise, okay? Written in March. Yeah. Now see, what you have to do is fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verbs in the box. If you need, you can change into present continuous. For example, whooping, singing. If you want, then change it into past tense even. That's why whether to fill the blanks with the present continuous or past tense, you have to go through the lines, passage. If once you start with the present continuous, you need to write whole paragraph in the present continuous tense. Okay. Now let's start with, now see, first line one blank, they have one. Second, one blank. And third, there are two blanks. And fourth, two blanks. Two blanks. And fifth, again two blanks again. Now sixth one, you get one blank. Okay, now let's see the first one. Spring is here again. The snow is slowly dashed from the mountains. Then it started present tense. So it's the snow is slowly disappearing now, because you cannot say you singing, you cannot say walking, basking. Disappearing is the correct, because spring season started. Now then you get that snow falling all it stops. So you should use the snow is slowly disappearing. Disappearing. Yeah. The second one, the day is bright and shiny. Small fluffy clouds dash in the blue sky. Sailing is there, that you know already. Are sailing. Are sailing. I taught you already the helping verbs for inform. The main verb, we need some helping verb. Whenever you write inform, you need helping verb. Is, are, anyone, was or were, you should use it. Okay. Then the third one, the green fields dash in the sunlight. Means if you are lying under the beach, lying under the sun on the beach, then you can say basking under the sun. He is basking under the sun, means lying on the beach under the sun to take that sunrise, to warm up your body after playing in the water. Okay, so here the green fields are basking in the sunlight. Are basking. Okay, and then the next blank it continue, and the